In the shadowy corridor of investigations, the role of private investigators, PIs, is often cloaked in mystery and misconceptions fueled by cinematic and novelistic portrayals. The truth is that PIs are invaluable assets in gathering information and supporting legal proceedings, but they are held liable by strict and stringent legalities. Understanding these legal boundaries is fundamental for anyone considering hiring a PI or becoming a private investigator. Let's look at what a private investigator can legally do. First, we will look at surveillance. Conducting surveillance is a cornerstone of the PI's toolkit, providing insights into personal, legal, or business matters. Surveillance tactics must avoid violation of privacy laws and are conducted in public settings where there is no reasonable expectation of privacy. Surveillance may be conducted in two ways: stationary surveillance, where the PI sits in one location and observes the subject while gathering video or photo evidence or notating activities of a person or the activities around a place or even an object like a vehicle. This video is sponsored by OREP Insurance and Working PI Magazine. OREP is a leading provider of private investigator liability insurance. Visit orep.org for a quote today. PIs might also gather information on individuals' personal, financial, and criminal backgrounds within the boundaries of the law while doing a background investigation. They must adhere to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, when necessary, when providing this information to their clients in a background report. They can't just report everything they discover. The limitations of what can be reported may also be restricted by local and state laws, not just the FCRA or GLBA federal requirements. Sometimes PIs are hired to simply gather information on a subject. This can include searching through public records and social media and conducting interviews with acquaintances of the subject. Locate investigations are another type of investigations many PIs conduct. This is also sometimes referred to as skip tracing. Most PIs will have varying levels of locates that range from basic skip traces, which usually entail running the subject in a database to come up with a most likely address, to full-blown comprehensive locate investigations that require boots on the ground, work in the field. PIs use legal methods to locate missing persons or those who have skipped town to avoid legal actions, debts, or other responsibilities. In some cases, PIs might assist law enforcement with gathering leads and additional information outside the reach of law enforcement due to capacity or jurisdictional limitations. This is not common, but it can occur from time to time. Now, what can private investigators not do legally? The first thing to keep in mind is that PIs cannot break the law. PIs have no special privileges when it comes to legal boundaries. They cannot commit crimes like trespassing, burglary, hacking, theft, or wiretapping to gather evidence. They also cannot impersonate law enforcement. PIs are sometimes mistakenly thought to have police powers. However, they cannot represent themselves as law enforcement officers, carrying a badge in most cases, or perform any law enforcement activities. PIs also can't operate without a PI license in states requiring licensing. Most states require a PI to be licensed, and working as a PI without that license is illegal. Most PI licenses also require some level of a surety bond and insurance to be maintained by the PI. So working without the proper insurance or bond in place is illegal too. So if a PI is not licensed, he is most likely not insured or bonded, as a license is required to get insured or bonded. So they could be breaking multiple laws. We also, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on who you ask, cannot make arrests. While PIs can gather evidence and support legal cases, they do not have the authority to arrest or detain anyone. A PI cannot tamper with mail in any way, shape, or form. Interfering with someone's mail, opening it, or obstructing its delivery is a federal crime. And many PIs do not know that even looking in someone's mailbox is considered tampering with the mail. PIs cannot record a conversation without consent either. In most states, recording conversations without the permission of at least one party is illegal. This is called a one-party state, but there are two-party and all-party laws too, and the PI must abide by these laws or risk prosecution. Trespassing on private property is not permitted either. Private investigators are not licensed to break into homes, apartments, or even offices. They are subject to the same trespassing laws as any citizen. hacking is illegal for a PI to do too. Despite the portrayal in movies and television, hacking into phones, computers, emails, and social media accounts without the owner's consent is illegal. The legal ramifications of hacking are immense, as there may be state and local laws and civil laws, and there is definitely federal laws that pertain to this. While a PI can conduct legal surveillance, they cannot conduct illegal surveillance using technology or surveillance methods to intrude upon someone's reasonable expectation of privacy, such as using zoom lenses to peer into private residences, planting bugs, or tapping phones without consent is prohibited. Understanding the capabilities and limitations of PIs helps set the right expectations for clients and ensures that any evidence collected is admissible in court and the investigation does not lead to legal complications. For those seeking the services of a private investigator, diligence should be exercised to ensure you're hiring a professional who knows and respects the laws and ethics of the profession. A reputable PI should willingly discuss the methods they would use to handle your case, and they should be able to provide a clear contract outlining their services, including adherence to legal regulations. In every step of their operations, private investigators must balance the pursuit of information with the mandate of legality and ethics, as these decisions ultimately determine the integrity of the investigation as a whole.